I'm going to share with you 5 tips to help you build a better YouTube community, or any community for that matter. And I've added a bonus tip at the end of this video that you definitely don't want to miss. So make sure you stick around for that. The first thing you need to know is that you have to find something that you have in common, or something you can celebrate together. For example, let's say you love pineapple on pizza and you sneak that into your videos from time to time, or you mention it on social media, or you sneak it into your live stream. Or maybe you love Star Wars or Taylor Swift, or maybe you're really passionate about a cause, or you love kittens, because everybody loves kittens. And you sneak these things into your content, or the things that you say from time to time. People are going to resonate with that. The right people are going to resonate with that. It can be an inside joke, or just something that people see you do on a regular basis. When I would do regular live streams with my brother, we would always eat M&Ms during our live streams. People started talking about the M&Ms. People started leaving comments about the M&Ms. And to our absolute surprise, we would go to YouTube events like Vid Summit and VidCon, and people would bring us bags of M&Ms. Some people would bring us huge bags of M&Ms. Those little things that you might not even think about can turn into big things, and people like to talk about those things. And then you have something in common. Now, before we move on to number 2, I want to share with you one of my favorite quotes from Simon Sinek, who is the author of Find Your Why. He says, "People want to be around others who believe in what they believe." So keep that in mind when you're building your community. The second tip is to engage. And what I mean by that is answer every single comment. Look, you've got a small channel now. You're just getting started. You're trying to build that channel momentum. You need to take the time to answer every single comment. I can't tell you how many times I've done channel reviews and I go to look at their comments to see how they're engaging with their audience, and they're not engaging with their audience, and they don't even have a lot of views, and they don't even have a lot of comments. Here's the thing. If you are not engaging with your audience now, if you are not replying to every single comment on your channel now while you can, then you are not ready to have a big channel. You're not ready to have a big community, because you can't handle a small channel. You can't handle a small number of comments, so you're not going to be able to handle things when your channel grows. That's just the facts. And notice that I said while you can. And the reason I said that is because you will probably reach a point where it becomes very difficult to reply to every comment. And when that happens, give them a heart at the very least. You need to find the time to acknowledge the people who use their time to leave comments under your videos. And I'm not just talking about giving a thumbs up or just saying thanks. Take it a little bit further than that. Take it deeper. Start a conversation. This is a perfect opportunity when somebody leaves a comment. Come in and say, "Hey, thanks for watching the video. What was your favorite part of the video?" Or "Where are you from?" Or "How long have you been on YouTube?" Or "Do you have a YouTube channel of your own?" Start a conversation. A lot of people will come back and they'll answer that question. And this is a great opportunity to keep that conversation going. And this is something that you can do while you do have a smaller channel, and something that becomes very difficult to do once your channel grows and you start getting thousands and thousands of comments. So while you can, answer every single comment on your channel, and take advantage of every single tool that YouTube gives you, every tool that you have access to. If you have access to stories, use stories. If you have access to the community feed, use the community feed. If you have access to live streaming, make sure you are live streaming. And that brings us right to our next tip, and that is live streaming. You need to go live, and we can talk about getting over the fear of going live in another video, but you need to go live if you want to build a community and stay in contact with the community that you do have, or the one that you actually build. Live streaming is hands down the best way for an audience to get to see you in your raw form. There's no editing. It's just you in front of a camera in real time. Your humor, your awkwardness, warts and all, everything is exposed for your viewers, and they get to see you as the real person that you are. And I know that can be terrifying to think about, but you need to get over that, because when you are live, when people do see the flaws, they see the good and they see the flaws, people can connect with that. They see that you're just a normal person just like them, instead of a well-polished YouTuber who edits everything and it's kind of fake. So you definitely want to get yourself out there and be live as much as possible to make that human connection. And while you're live, acknowledge the people that do come in, that do want to hang out with you, even if it's by their username or you get to know their first name. Acknowledge them, make them feel special. That's going to make a world of difference when building a community. And if you don't know how to go live yet, I recommend StreamYard, and they're today's show sponsor. Actually, they sponsor my live streams too. StreamYard is hands down the easiest way to get up and go live, especially if you don't have any live experience and you're worried about the tech. It is browser-based. You just log into their website, you connect your camera, you connect your mic, and you're up and running, and you can live stream for free for up to 20 hours per month using StreamYard, and I've got a link for them down in the description below if you want to check them out. The next tip would be to connect outside of YouTube. Build a Facebook group, build a Discord, build a group on Reddit, build something on Slack, build an email group. Find another way to communicate with people off of YouTube. That way you can communicate with them when you're not uploading videos and when you're not live streaming. And on a personal note, just from creator to creator, it's a great idea to put some of your assets elsewhere anyway, because you don't want to put all of your eggs in the YouTube basket. If anything were to go wrong with YouTube, you don't want to lose everything. So think about building a community outside of YouTube. But here's a pro tip. In your videos, do not start your videos or do not front load any mention in your videos that you have another community outside of YouTube. Put that in your description or put that at the end of your YouTube video, because you don't want to send people off platform, off of YouTube. One, that's going to kill your video if they click off of your video early on because you tell them about your Discord. So just be careful about where you are placing this information. If you are putting it in your video, I would put it at the end of the video and not at the front. You want to keep people on YouTube as much as possible. So when they start your video, it's a good idea to get them to watch your video. And if you can, get them to watch another video. And I'll talk about that growth strategy in another video. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that. Next up is to name your community. What are you going to call your community? For example, my brother and I both use the Nimminati. Our last name is Nimmin. We use the Nimminati. So what are you going to name your group? Do you have a name picked out already? Because you're going to need one. People love names. People love to be part of a group. People love to represent. If you already have a name, if you know what your name is already, go down and leave a comment. Represent. Tell me what your community name is. Actually, I'd love to know. People have some really cool names. Ours is the Nimminati. And that extends to brands as well. Are you Team Apple or are you are you the other people? I'm Team Apple. Apple everything. Now, I mentioned that I had some bonus tips for you, and thank you for sticking around. You definitely don't want to miss out on these. The first one would be make your community a safe place. Make sure that people can communicate with you. Make sure that people feel comfortable, that they can say whatever they want to say that's not negative, and they're not going to be attacked by other people. The safer you make your community, the more people are going to want to be part of your community. And also keep in mind, if you're making content that's more on the negative side, on the trolling side, you're going to attract that type of person. So you might end up building a negative community. So you need to be careful with that. The next bonus tip would be to download or read the book called Primal Branding by Patrick Hanlon. This is the Grand Poobah Grand Scheme blueprints of building a community. I'll say no more on that. It's worth a read. And the next bonus tip is that while it's very easy to get caught up in the numbers, we're watching subscribers, we're watching views, you have to understand that every subscriber and every view is an actual person. That's a human being. Right? We're looking at views, we're looking at subscribers, all we see is numbers, and we want more numbers, more numbers, more numbers. Those are people. Every one of those, every single digit is a person. So instead of thinking about views, right? How many views can I get? Think of it as connections. How many connections can I make? Make this shift. Start thinking differently. Stop thinking views, start thinking connections, and you're going to be able to build an amazing community.